Good evening, my friends, and I have been really looking forward, one, to cooking my dinner tonight, and two, to be able to spend some time with you guys. So it has been a fabulous day today, starting off with going to the east end of Montreal and participating in the park run this morning, 5 kilometers, which I really, really enjoyed, especially as today Alan was able to come and join me with me there. Then I came home, and then I had a little bit of downtime, and then I did a really, really fun recruiting video with Monique, because we were talking in the recruiting video about stepping outside your comfort zone. Because what I had told Monique is this afternoon I was going to go out into my street and knock on doors and talk to people about Tupperware. So hi Sinsin, good to see you. Hi, Ingrid. Good to see you. So, what do I mean, go out into the street and talk about Tupperware? Well, what I did was I went down my street and I knocked on doors of people that maybe I say hello to occasionally, but I didn't really know them. And I immediately, as soon as they answered the door, I gave them a zester, a citrus peeler, to say thank you for opening your door. This is a gift for you. And then I said, I'm walking down the street today. You know, I live up at number 120. And I wanted to ask you if you would be willing to do an experiment. And, you know, the lovely thing was that I think I stopped at 10 houses, and I ended up giving 8 Fridge Smarts to people to do Fridge Smart tests for me. So they can see how good the Fridge Smarts are for themselves, which means next week I have 8 people to follow up. So I was pretty excited about that. I had a couple of people say, you know, Melanie, I don't like plastic. And I said, that's absolutely fine. But I was able to reassure them that when Tupperware is used correctly, there is no leaching of plastic, and that seemed to make some people happy, some not so happy. But you know, all I can do is tell people what I know. I'm not really here to convince people, but just to show them. So I really had a great afternoon. So I started that at about 2:45, I think, and I had said I'll do it for 1 hour. But at 4:15, I looked at my watch and I said, you know, I'm going to finish now. So an hour and a half. And I really felt like it was one of those things I did that really took me outside my comfort zone, but I believe is probably something I need to do more of and maybe spread out a bit in the neighborhood. So that is something we used to do before COVID. I haven't done it for a long time, so it was a little scary, but I did it anyway. So this afternoon, I am going to be making for you 2 recipes. I've made them before, but when I made them, they were so delicious. I said, this is something I want to do again. Now, the first of these is called melt in your mouth potatoes. Now, for melt in your mouth potatoes, the first thing I need to do is melt some butter. So I'll just go and melt this in my microwave. And when I melt butter in the microwave, I'm only ever going to melt it at 60% power, because I don't want it to burn. I just want it to melt. So what else? Now I'm going to put the melted butter in here. And actually, that's the wrong one. I need the potato one. I'm starting with the potato one because they take longer to cook. And then I need 1 teaspoon of dried thyme. So actually, I'm just going to get my teaspoons. Yep. Yes, it was you should try it, Cindy. It was so good. If you have fridge smarts to spare, you know, and people are only going to use them. I basically now have set aside like 8 fridge smarts, and you can use the little ones. I actually use the medium deep ones because we had that great, not the medium deep, the small deep, and I'm going to keep those now just for my fridge tests. So I'm going to keep going out, seeing people as one lot finishes, then I can go and see another lot. But you do have to take your courage in your hands. Okay, so we are going to put in 1 teaspoon of dried thyme, half a teaspoon of dried rosemary, half a teaspoon, oh, wrong side again. So what have you guys been up to today? Are you still, Ingrid, are you still at your daughter's place, or have they come home now? I think you said you were there for 2 weeks. So there's half a teaspoon of dried rosemary. Then I need 1 teaspoon of salt. So there's one. Yep, so we're going to put 1 teaspoon of salt and some garlic. It actually asked me to use garlic, but as you know, I don't use garlic, so I'm going to use this. I'm going to put half a teaspoon of garlic salt. You still have butterflies growing, going live, but just posted a video. Okay, that's good. You just got home, Ingrid. Okay, so they just got home. So I bet you have a nice dinner ready for them or something, knowing you, Ingrid. Okay, let me get my butter. So I have my melted butter, which I'm going to pour in here. Let me just check. So in a small bowl, combine melted butter, thyme, rosemary, salt, and I just need some pepper. And then what I'm going to do, well, Cindy, one thing that's really good to do, I mean, I went out on my own today, but one way to help is to go with somebody else. Okay, so I'm just going to cut the little bit off the top here. And you have to, when you do this recipe, you have to cut your pieces quite big. So about 3/4 of an inch. So as I cut these, I'm going to put them into my melted butter solution. Now it told me to peel them, but I've made them before and I've never peeled them. It's like an extra job that you don't need to do. So put those in there. And this, making these melted potatoes, it's super easy, but it is a bit time consuming because you do have to, you cook them for a certain amount of time, and then you have to turn them over. So you just need to be a little bit on the ball. So what I do is I set my oven timer for the time, and so when it beeps, I know, oops, the oven's gone off. I need to get and turn over the pieces. Okay, so that is quite a lot of potatoes for Alan and me. So I'm going to use now my serving forks to make sure that my potatoes are nicely coated with, oh, looks good, nicely coated with the olive oil mix. And then you dribble the rest on. So there they are. You can probably see they're nicely coated. So I'm going to just get rid of these little ends here and get my tray. So the oven has to be at 475 to cook these. So what I'm going to do now is take out my pieces here and put them onto my baking tray. And so they all have flat edges, which is good. These were so good last time I made them. Oh, I just wanted to make them again. There we go. So that's nice. Al and I've got about six big slices each. So that's pretty good. Okay, and I'm just wondering actually if I should do one more. I think I might do one more potato. I'd hate to get to the stage where I want to have seconds and I haven't made enough when I know there is enough coating. Okay, so I'll put these in here. Just make sure these pieces get coated. Put these on here. Now we can fight over the extra one. There we go. So now I'm going to just dribble the rest of this mixture over the potatoes so they all have an opportunity to get nicely roasted. I think I will leave the rest of this and put it when I turn them over. Okay, so now I put these in the oven, which is already at 475, and I'm going to cook them for 15 minutes the first time. Oops, I've got my mat there. Okay, so they're starting to cook. At 15 minutes, I'm going to turn them over. They cook for another 15 minutes, and then you cook them for another 10 to 15, and turn them over again, and then another 10 to 15. So you turn them over twice, and so you could end up cooking them for a total of 45 minutes. But it's definitely worth it because they were so yummy last time. Okay, so now we're going to get started on the chicken. So the first thing I'm going to do with the chicken is put some flour into my seasoned syrup. So I'm not going to put a whole lot, but enough so about half of a quarter of a cup, right? So an eighth of a cup of flour. And what else do I need to put in? So I need to put salt, I need to put pepper, I need to put garlic powder. Okay, so just check this is the salt. Yep. So we'll put some salt in here. We'll put some garlic. Oops. Garlic salt. Okay. We'll put some pepper. Okay, So that's good. So now what I need to do is put some of the butter. So it says 3 tablespoons of butter, but to use 1 tablespoon of butter and 1 tablespoon of olive oil. And as you can see, I have my Chef Series pan here, which goes on all cookers. It's going to go on my induction cooker. And I'm going to put the heat on in a second. So I put my first tablespoon of butter. Now I'm going to put a tablespoon of oil. And we are going to put this on. I shall put that up to number 6 and let that get ready. And in the meantime, we're going to coat the chicken. So I have 1 chicken breast that is relatively small. So put that there, but this one is quite big. So I think I'm going to cut this one so that we have 2. So once again, Alan and I will have to fight over who has what. Okay, so I've got those there. I'm going to put my lid of my season serve on the top and shake it all up so that my chicken gets nicely coated in the flour and the seasoning, so that when it cooks in the pan, it's got some nice flavoring. Okay, let's have a look. There we go. Look at that. Isn't that good? So now I'm going to put these into the pan. So what it says is to cook the chicken. Cook the chicken for 4 to 5 minutes aside until golden. Then take the chicken out of the pan and set it aside. And then what we're going to do is we are going to add in 1/2 cup of wine, which I have here already, 1/3 cup of chicken broth. And I'm then going to add in the rest of the butter and some Italian seasoning. So I'm going to measure out some Italian seasoning. Hello, Sharon. Nice to see you this evening. So we're going to put in, I really need to get some more Italian seasoning made because I can't get it out anymore. It's too far down the bottom. Okay, that'll do. And the other thing that I'm going to add at the end is some fresh parsley chopped up, which I just got from my garden. So we'll chop that up now. I didn't get much. Maybe I should have got a bit more, but let's see. I don't want the leaves getting stuck on the side. There we go. So I've got my parsley cut up, ready to go on to the chicken. And smells good. Okay, let me check on the chicken and turn it over. I'm just going to use, what did I do with the other one of these? Here it is. So they are goldening up nicely. and I need to continue to cook them. I forgot the jam jar. Oh dear, never mind. Sometimes I don't do the jam jar on purpose, Sharon. But I will put it out tonight. Okay, so let's get the jam jar filled with the answer to this question. Who is having chicken tonight for dinner? So if you're having chicken tonight in some form, please write, yes, I am, and tell me what sort of chicken. And if you're not having chicken tonight, please let me know what you're having instead. So that way we can get some comments going here. So I think I've got Cindy and Sharon and Ingrid. I haven't seen anybody else come on recently. So the three of you can let me know, are you having chicken tonight? And if you are, how is he going to cook it? And if you're not, what are you having instead of chicken? So let me have another look at this. So what I'm doing is making sure the chicken is turned around all over. Sharon says she's having Italian roasted chicken. Whoa, that sounds good, Sharon. So while you're waiting, I'll tell you that when I was out this afternoon, I was talking to people about fridge smarts. So what I did was I lent them a fridge smart and I gave them a little piece of paper that explained about doing a fridge smart test. So what they're going to do is they're going to take 3 or 4 or however many different vegetables they want. They're going to cut a piece off each, put one piece inside the container and one on top of the container, and they're going to leave it in their fridge for 4 to 5 days. And then I will call them at the end of the week and make a moment to go and see them. And of course, I have full confidence that they will really enjoy what they see. Okay, Ingrid's having no chicken. You're having spaghetti, Caesar salad, and garlic. Garlic bread, that sounds good. And Sharon, you're having with roasted potatoes, gravy, and green beans. That sounds good. Okay, so my chicken is pretty much golden all the way around. So I'm going to take the chicken out and we're going to add in the chicken stock and the wine. I'm just going to get something to put my chicken on. Okay, it's not fully cooked, the chicken, but it's not meant to be. So let me put my white wine and my chicken stock in the pan. Woo! That sounded exciting. So I've got that now on a low heat So let me see what it says. Add the wine and chicken broth to pan. Let it bubble for about a minute. And then we're going to stir it. We're going to add the remaining butter and the Italian seasoning and then simmer for another minute. So I'm just going to get the rest of the butter. Oh, this looks good. Okay, let me get the rest of the butter. So I just turned it up one level so it is bubbling. And how are we doing on the potatoes? Okay, we have 2 minutes and then the potatoes are going to beep and we're going to turn them over for the first time. So you guys should still be here when that happens. I'm actually going to move this plastic tray and put this out so it's here to take the hot pan. Okay, let me put the rest of the butter in there. So the butter and my Italian seasoning. Okay, so we're going to let that simmer for another couple of minutes. Now it's said to use heavy cream, but I don't have any heavy cream, but what I do have is some 15% cream here. And I'm going to make, I need a half a cup of that. So we'll just use this. So we're going to add that in. Okay, so we're really getting to the end. This is going to be a yummy dinner. I know it is. I've made it before and it was so delicious. So when I get the potatoes out, you'll be able to see them. And then I'll dribble the rest of the coating mix on them, put them back in for another 15 minutes. Now this looks good. So we have 30 seconds now until the potatoes beep. Let me see, add the cream and chicken back into the pan. So I'm going to do that before the potatoes beep. Cream. So there we go, it's beeping. And I'm going to put the lid on my pan. Oh, these look good. There we go. So I put the pan back on. Can you see how delicious these are looking? So now what I'm going to do is turn them over and you can see that they're browning. Whoop! Come back, potato. They're browning on the bottom, which will now be the top. Oh, this is going to be so yummy. And so simple, guys. Like, you know, they really will taste delicious and I'll feel like a gourmet cook, but they're just so easy to do. So there we go. And I'll get the last, oh, it looks like it's actually solidified a little bit. because of course it was melted butter, wasn't it? So I'll just melt it up and put it on next time. So these are ready now to go back into the oven for another 15 minutes. And I know that they're going to be delicious. So let me put them back in. Oh, the pan's so hot. So I've put them in for 15 minutes. And next time I get them out, I'm going to use my silicone gloves because it's too hot, because the temperature is at 475. So that is it for me today. Let me just, I'm just going to take the camera and see if I can move it over so that you can actually see the chicken cooking. Let me see if I can organize that for you. I'm not sure I'm going to be able to. Nope. Sorry, guys. I've got too many wires and things, and it's going to make a mess. Let me see if I can bring it over here. So I don't know if you can see that the chicken is there in a nice bubbling mixture. Get it back on. Okay. So that's the best I can do. So that is it from me. Let me do a quick draw because we have 3 of you here. Okay, and the winner is Sharon. And Sharon, what you win is a small, deep FridgeSmart, which retails at $37. And because you watched me today, I offer it to you for $10. So you have to just let me know whether you're going to take that. And when you send me a list sometime of all the things that, not the things you buy, because I keep exact track of them, but any extra things that I owe you, please include that on the list if you would like to take it. Okay, you just have to say, I won the FridgeSmart on this date, and here's for $10. Okay, so have a fantastic evening, everybody. I'm really going to look forward to my dinner, and I will make some photos for you so that you too can see how it turned out. So that's it from me. Take care. Bye for now.